The Xiaomi 17 is finally here. The global version, of course. We already saw the Chinese version a few months ago. I've actually been looking forward to the 17 series from Xiaomi, so let's talk about it. Xiaomi remains one of the few brands committed to giving us compact phones. I mean, these phones remind us that you don't actually have to use big size 6.7 inches display phones to actually get flagship experience. I was really looking forward to the 17 Pro and Pro Max because of that display they had on the rear, but it's a China exclusive version, so too bad we are not getting it here. But the 17 and 17 Ultra still live up to expectations when it comes to flagships. I just feel like the 17 Pro and Pro Max were more unique. As someone who has been keeping up with the base versions of Xiaomi's flagships, I have used the 14, the 15, the special edition, and now the 17. Of course, they skipped 16 while naming it for reasons best known to them, or maybe obvious reasons. They still maintain that compact form factor while improving it in a couple of ways. Bigger battery while still keeping it small. It's even slightly smaller than the 15. I've had the Xiaomi 17 for a couple of weeks now. It's launching officially on the 28th of February, probably today or maybe after, depending on when I post this video. I feel like at this point there's no need to talk about the unboxing experience, but because of what we saw with the Chinese version, let's just talk about it. You know, that one came with a long box, came with a charging brick, or this one still came with a small box, no charging brick. So you can probably go for the Chinese version if you want that unboxing experience. At first glance, looking at the Xiaomi 17, the design still mostly follows the same language as the previous generations, although it's a bit more refined. And if you look at the camera bump, you can now see the individual camera lenses compared to the last generation, which had them all under a glass panel. You'll notice the flash has been moved from the side of the camera bump. It's now sitting with the rest of the cameras. When you compare the Xiaomi 17 and 15 side by side, you'll notice it still maintains the same rounded design, but if you look carefully, the 17 is a bit more rounded, and then it also maintains roughly the same weight while having significantly bigger battery. You should note that this one slightly differs from the Chinese version in some specifications. For example, the battery here is 6330 mAh, while that on the Chinese version is 7000. On the frame, while the buttons and port remain mostly in the same position, the antenna bands have been positioned differently. The Xiaomi 17 comes in a couple of cool colors. The one I have here is the ice blue. It has a frosted matte finish on the rear. It's nice to the touch. It does a good job to repel smudges. And the overall feel on the hands is as premium as it gets. I actually prefer this frosted finish compared to the glossy finish that I had on the special edition. I wiped it a couple of times before filming, but you can see it's already smudge fiesta. We still get the IP68 rating for water and dust resistance. I feel like at this point I don't need to explain IP68. The Xiaomi 17 comes with two memory options, 256 or 512 gigs of storage, both with 12 gigs of RAM. UFS 4.1 storage, by the way, slight improvement over UFS 4 on the previous generation. The display on the Xiaomi 17 is as good as it can get on a compact flagship. High res, it's vibrant, it gets as bright as 3500 nits peak. It is 6.3 inches and it has really slim bezels. It refreshes at 120 Hz. It's LTPO, so it can get as low as 1 Hz. The Xiaomi 17 uses an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner which works just fine, fast, no delays. The display is protected with Xiaomi's Dragon Crystal glass. Now, I'm not sure how exactly it compares to the current Gorilla Glass Victus, but it's a flagship phone with a flagship display protection, and it's still glass, deeper grooves at level 6, I guess. Now, some people might look at the Xiaomi 17 and say it's a compact phone, 6.3 inches, it's not exactly a big display fit for media consumption. But then I feel like people that buy this kind of smartphone really do not have any issues using a 6.3 inch display for media. I mean, if you want a big display to watch content, you can as well get a tablet or your TV. I like that it's easy to operate on one hand and it's easily pocketable. One thing I like about the Xiaomi 17 is the speaker quality. It has dual stereo speakers and the sound is really punchy. Easily one of the best quality speakers you can find on any smartphones. When I say the speakers sound impressive, to give you context, I'm actually going to play sound right now. Hopefully my mic can give you a good idea of what the quality actually is. I usually don't play music with my phone speakers, but the first time I used the Xiaomi 17 for music, I loved it so much. Anytime I'm going to the bathroom now, this is what I take. So let's just play the sound right now. I mean, how would you rate the speaker quality? You will agree with me that for a compact smartphone, the sound is rich. On the software front, we have Android 16 and Xiaomi's HyperOS 3, which is actually a very aesthetically pleasing UI. While it continues to take inspiration from Apple's iOS, I like that they're adding their own twist to it. At the moment, we don't have a copy of Liquid Glass here, at least not yet. But if you look through the UI, there are some signs of Liquid Glass. Who knows, it might come with a newer HyperOS update. But at the moment, HyperOS 3 is still interesting. It gives you a lot of customization options. I mean, look at that lock screen effect. The animations operating the UI is really smooth and refreshing. The only complaints I still have with HyperOS, even with this current version, is the fact that Xiaomi still does not want to integrate Material U, which actually makes sense if you're looking at the fact that they're taking inspiration from Apple. So now Xiaomi is not getting left behind on the AI front. We get a couple of AI features with Xiaomi's Hyper AI. We have AI writing, dynamic wallpapers, creativity assistance, speech recognition, translating face-to-face conversations, even offline, interpreter, AI subtitles, and of course, circles to search. Summarizing the overall software experience, it is fluid, no bugs so far. And that is to be expected. It's a flagship. As for software updates, I have not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get at least 4 major Android versions. The Xiaomi 17 is sporting the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. If you look at benchmark scores, it is a significant upgrade over the 8 Elite that we had on the Xiaomi 15. On the overall performance so far, I'd say Xiaomi has optimized the 8 Elite Gen 5 quite well for the 17. You're really not going to find a flagship like this lacking in performance, handling day-to-day tasks, or even some heavy usage. As for heating issues, I have had no concerns with that. It has handled just fine even when charging. It has better heat management than this Xiaomi 15 that I have here. When I charge this one, it gets pretty hot sometimes, but I've not experienced that with the Xiaomi 17. I've run a couple of benchmark tests here to see how hot it can get, but I'll say it has not really gone beyond what I'll say is normal. I've really not pushed this for gaming, but I've installed a couple of games where winds meet Wuthering Waves, and it has handled itself just fine. But I feel like people that buy compact phones don't really game that much. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, if you're going to game with this, it's a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. It will handle itself just fine. When it comes to the battery life, we have seen significant improvement to the capacity, and you can actually get a full day of use from this one, up to 7 hours of screen on time, sometimes more depending on how you use your device or what you do with your device. I have no complaints so far about the battery life on the Xiaomi 17. For charging, we get 100 watts here, which is pretty fast to top up this device should you need to get a quick boost, and then it supports 50 watts wireless charging. In the camera department, the specifications are similar to what we got on the previous generation, although on the selfie we now get a higher 50 megapixel sensor. The rear is a triple 50 megapixel combination of a main camera, ultra wide, and telephoto. Xiaomi has improved the overall image processing here. I'm currently shooting 4K 30 FPS from the selfie camera. It can do 8K 30 FPS as well. But then when you look at the image processing from the rear camera compared to what we saw on the 15, photos come out better overall. The colors look more natural, and then there is also improvement to the details. On the selfie camera is where we have the most improvement. The image processing is much better. It's not as soft or over-processed as we had with the Xiaomi 15. As far as compact smartphones go, the Xiaomi 17 is still right up there, giving you one of the best experiences. Its compact size does not mean it's lacking in performance. It has the same latest Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor you are going to find on most of the flagships. Its cameras live up to expectations for the most part. The speakers are really impressive, and then the software is fluid. The Xiaomi 17 is going to be competing with the likes of the Pixel 10, the iPhone 17, the Samsung Galaxy S26. I don't think we have that much options when it comes to small sized flagship phones. But yeah, this one is a good one and it's right up there. Catch you in the next one.